Hey guys, it's Rebecca here today. Today I wanted to show you how to make one of the rings that I will be releasing in my new drop. It's with a pink tourmaline and it's a wax casted ring. It's a ooey gooey molten metal masterpiece and I'm super excited to get this casted and be able to wear it myself. The place that I cast my jewelry at, I am waiting until their wax machine is back up and running, and it ended up breaking down, and so they're getting parts and everything for that. So until then, I cannot launch, sadly. It should be happening hopefully in the next month. I'm praying. Oh my gosh, I'm praying. So as soon as I do have that available to where I can cast, I will be finally launching my items. I've kind of just been perfecting my craft in the sense of like wax carving, since this is something that is generally new to me. So I do have some really cool designs that I'm really excited to show you guys. I'm not going to show you all of them, just to keep a little bit of interest for you guys so you can check it out whenever I do launch. But I will show you one of the rings that I have decided to make that I am in love with. It is such a pretty ring. So this ring will be a pink tourmaline ring, and I already have one made in wax and that I'm showing you right now, of course. This is a ring that ever since I found out wax carving was a way to make jewelry, I have always wanted to make this style of ring. I love the idea that the stone looks like it's fallen into molten lava, or that the metal is like encasing the stone, engulfing it. Specifically, this pink color makes me so happy. I have never been too much of a fan of pink, and this is the right shade for me. I am going to show you a bit of a tutorial on how to create this ring. I had this one made to my size for myself, and as soon as the caster opens up, I will be casting this as soon as possible. I'm so excited to have this style ring. It's like a dream come true. I'll take you along this molten-y metal madness journey. All right, so we're gonna get into it. Get into it, yo. I just broke my glasses. No, this is the second pair that I broke in the same way. You probably can't see it. Yeah, so I taped them. I don't know if you can really see. I don't know if it's gonna like load or not on me though. I taped them and then I sealed them with my soldering iron. Like I melted the tape together. So, kind of sucks. It really does. This is literally the second pair that this has happened to. They're so cheaply made that like it was bound to happen again, but at the same time, they're really cute. So, I'm probably gonna get the same pair a third time. Anyways, back to it. So my process, I'm not saying this is right, just that it's my process, okay? So I have this plastic ring mandrel. As you can see, it is disgustingly tattered. Well used. She's been through a lot. So I use this to melt wax onto, because the way that the wax grips on it makes it grips hard enough to where I can work with it really well and it not pop off and slide down, or that it breaks off. And it has the sizes on it, so like it's decent. And I just melt wax on. I kind of just make a circular form. All right, so take our soldering iron, right? Baby's hot, right? You can definitely tell. I can leave impressions in my ring mandrel. So I take a chunk of my blue wax. I like to work with blue. I haven't worked with the other colors yet, so you know, I only know what I know. And I like to work with blue. The soldering iron melts it really well. And I just take that little chunk, and let's make a size 7 ring. So I'm gonna plant that right on the line that's next to size 7, okay? Okay, can you see that pretty good? I hope you can. Oh, I can zoom in more. Oh, good. Oh, goody. So this is basically me just laying down the base layer of the wax. So I'm just going around thickening the band. Yeah, making it more uniform all the way around. This is where the stone is gonna be, right here. This little portion where the metal is where I put the stone. It gives it a nice seat to where I can like lay the stone in and I don't have to worry about it falling off. Once I get to the point in my business that I'm getting consistent sales and I like, where I actually sell wax carvings instead of wire wraps, I'm really hoping that I can make molds of my designs and just tweak them so that they're still unique. Each and every one is still unique, but to where I don't have to do the entire base of it every time. And that way I can make the same design over and over again and not have to worry about it being like a super big hassle to do so every time. That way I'm more efficient with my time and energy. Right now what I'm doing, I carved a seat for my stone. I'm now trying to wrap some wax around the top so that it stays put while I perfect the sides and get it to look like a clean molten metal, not a gross, grody, disgusting molten metal, you know? Burnt my dadgum finger, dadgummit. So as you can see, I'm kind of adding a little bit of texture right now. Now this one's definitely way chunkier than the one I have. I do end up fixing that, trust me. It's definitely a rough draft, like 90% of the wax I make, and then I end up perfecting it the last 10%. I leave just enough space right here in between the top. I leave a little bit on top and a little bit on bottom, so that there's a little gap right there that lets the light shine through and hit that tourmaline, so that it just brings out the beautiful color that it has. So you can clearly see it's very sloppy still. It's grody looking, it's not the best. It's just an outline of what we're doing, okay? We're gonna cut this down and make it look pretty. It'll look closer to this one than it does the one on the mandrel. We'll get it thinned out. It is a little chunky right now. Oh, there we go. So we're gonna keep working on it till it looks really, really pretty. So right now I'm kind of just cleaning up the edges around the stone, getting the excess wax out of the way that's not meant to be there on top of the stone. Just trying to, I usually use my fingernail and take it off because the wax doesn't really attach to the stone. The stone's cold and the wax is hot. It doesn't really stick very well. I just take my X-Acto knife and I pretty much like to take away chunks so that it's even on both sides. It looks good on both sides. I noticed as I'm working on it, there's a lot more space up here than there is down here, right? So it looks like kind of flat right here and it goes rounded on top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this down the side, just right here, and reattach it slightly up more, so that I'm able to have it be an even in the middle. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of pressure on that broken spot so that I can lift it up and meld it together. And I'm gonna go in between and heat up the wax so it's melted. That got on my finger and it burns, but that's okay. All right. Let's get it just enough melted so that it blends together. You can always add more wax. Notice how there's curvature on both sides now? So it made it a little bit more even. And don't forget to take the inside of the ring and seal it on the inside too, or it will snap as you work on other parts of the ring. I noticed what I'm doing right now is I'm heating up the wax right next to the stone because I noticed that the stone is somewhat slanted, right? So heating it up opens it enough to where I can kind of alter how that stone is sitting without completely taking it out and having to recarve the whole seat. And if you need to, you can heat your stone up too. That always helps. What I just did was even out where the stone was so it sits perfectly up and down and it's not at a slant, right? It goes perfectly north to south. Extra wax that was left over on the stone. There we go. Look at the light coming through that. Very pretty. Of course, it still needs a lot of cleanup. It's still a little more rough than I would like it to be. But one of the ways that I combat that is I take a lighter. You need to be very careful with this process because you can ruin everything that you created. So you take your lighter and you just run it along super quickly. Just enough to heat it up, just lightly. You gotta be very careful. Just to heat it up enough to where it kind of melds together so that the rough edges become soft and smooth and more liquid-like. Okay? Okay. And then I blow on it so that I don't touch it and then leave my fingerprint. You have to be feeling very froggy to do this. Just very lightly run it along it. Just very nice, very soft. In this circumstance, less is more, because if you do too much heat and apply it in one spot for too long, your wax is going to completely melt and fall apart. And then you have to redo what you did. So you want to be very, very careful during this process. Oof. It's getting a little close. I'm gonna have to stop flaming it. It really just gave it less harsh of lines. But here it is so far. The only thing I really did off camera was kind of just smooth these edges out so that it wasn't such a wide ring. I kind of just slightly cut away at the sides, right? And then I added the little inlets. I cut out the little holes where the light can come through and shine to the stone. That's pretty self-explanatory. I literally just used my X-Acto knife and cut like a very thin rectangle in between the bottom and top portion of the wax so that there's enough light to come through on the tourmaline so that it just kind of shines like a really pretty princess, you know? There we are. There she is. For now, this is where we're at. You can clearly see how sloppy on this side it is compared to right here where the flame touched and made it more liquid-like and more smooth. So you just kind of gotta like run it over with your flame. Be very careful. You don't want to do it too much. It's not worth it. That's what we're looking for right there. Right there. That's exactly what we're looking for. Beautiful. So yeah, we're just gonna keep working on this bad boy, and so yeah. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. I know it wasn't super in depth, but this truly is a style ring that forms itself when you're making it. It's something that really you gotta make the calls on whether you're putting too much wax or too little. The lines form, the style and the flow of the ring, it's truly up to you. And that's what's really cool about these style rings, is that it genuinely is gonna be unique however you make it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you're interested in getting the very ring that we made today for yourself, I will be announcing on my social medias when exactly my launch will be. It will be very soon, hopefully, and yeah, you guys can check out all the other stuff that I've made as well, and I most likely will be showing you guys before the launch ends up happening some more things that will be there, but I'm still gonna keep some mystery, so you guys check out everything. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much. I love you. Mwah.